tell it to you, pick up on me either. I'm about to throw a lot at you, so you have my cell number. Y'all feel free to call me anytime with any questions stuff. But we'll start up here. Here's our firebox. And this is actually the regulator for the propane back there. Here's what we'll fly out. When we build this, we build that removable just because over time that expanded metal there is going to rot from that heat. And this way you can just take it out and have the X metal in place and slide it back in without having to cut everything out of there and all that stuff. And just make clean up a little bit easier. Take it out. And as far as starting the fire, say if I was going to start the fire in it right now, I want to cook in it. I want to have this all the way open. That's what's going to draw the heat in there. And I recommend just using a charcoal chimney of lump charcoal and run it down the middle, and then about 3 sticks. You know, let that charcoal get real good, like white, you know. And then I'll leave this door open until, you know, my fire's like that, where it's not blazing, but it's just a good smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'll usually leave these pinwheel vents about halfway open, just to feed the fire, you know, feed the oxygen in. But as far as controlling temp, I don't like to do it from here, just because I don't want to be around the hot firebox all day. So I'll leave those about halfway open to get the oxygen in there. But, you know, unless the fire flames up, then you can cut down a little bit there. But mostly, I'm going to do all the control right here. So if I want to cook at 250, and I start creeping up to say 260, just choke it down. You're going to see almost an immediate response there. So this is where I like to control it. So, close, you know, cooler, hotter.
Right.
You know, that's what's pulling that heat in there. Here's both of these racks. Let me close this up, Jackie.
Go right ahead, buddy.
And I'll put this pin in, or I'll leave with it in my pocket. But if you leave it, I mean, if y'all are concerned about it back here, you can lock it down with these, where these tabs are too. Are y'all gonna be traveling with it any?
We'll take it offside.
Okay.
Anytime to use.
Okay. Yeah, and that, just make sure you got the clip too, because there's stuff on here that'll fly out. Yeah, that's right. So both of these racks, they pull out and they'll hang here, so you can load, unload meat, do whatever you want to do. And because of that, I'm big on cleanup, because a lot of people don't understand the time that goes into prepping the meat, cooking the meat. By the time cleanup comes around, you're just like, hey man,
Oh yeah.
I'm done, right? Yeah. So I'll just usually line that with tin foil, because all that grease will fall in there. That way I'm done. Just pull it off. But both of these are removable too, so if you ever want to do a little just take that top one out, you can do that. So here's your diverter plate. All that smoke will come down here, rise, come across the meat, and go out to the stack. That gives you the consistent temp all the way across. You'll have about a 2-degree variance from one end of the barrel to the other. You're not taking meat, flipping it around, doing all that stuff. It's just put it in and set it and go. We want to make it as easy as possible. And like I said, that's just the right amount to give that smoke time to get to a constant temp before it cooks the meat. You know, as far as we do want to season this before we use it. And you do have a 2-inch drain right here. It's just a 2-inch pipe going straight down. If you're out here using it, you may just want to put like a disposable casserole dish or something like that because of the grease. This is slanted, so all the grease should run this way. But heck, man, you could I'll put tin foil on this right here too.
Yeah. And
leave it on there, and that way when and if you get ready to clean it, the inside, it's real easy. Rip it off, put some new down there. You know. You don't want to clean it after every time and take it back to raw metal. We're wanting to cover up the raw metal in the seasoning process, but it's going to get to a point where it's probably so gunky you need to do something. Get this barrel as hot as you can, and then spray water in it. Just let it steam clean. It'll break all the big stuff off, but it's not going to take it back to raw metal like this. Everything will go out your drain. Exactly. So, season it. I recommend using canola oil. It has a higher burn point than vegetable oil, so it coats a little bit better. So I usually get like a 1 gallon pump sprayer and just spray everything down in here really well. Get the racks really well. You can do the side walls with oil. Yeah, with that oil, and you can kind of wipe that oil here instead of spraying or to get, you know, all over the outside, which isn't a big concern, but I'm kind of anal about that. So just get a good coat on everything, get a fire going, get this barrel up to at least 250. If we're rolling hotter than 250 when we're seasoning it, that's fine. You know, if you're hitting 300, whatever. But let it roll there for 2.5, 3 hours. That'll bake that canola oil on there and cover all the raw metal. Get the paint smell out. You'll be ready to cook on it. So, and I, you know, definitely don't want to use peanut oil, especially here, because you don't know people have allergies. And I got people that like to use different things, but when somebody's purchasing something this big, there's more than likely you're not going to know everybody that's eating off of it, right? Especially you guys. That's why I recommend a canola oil. I've had guys use cottonseed oil. I mean, people have got so. I mean, they got their own thing, you know. Yeah. This is the charcoal grill. I usually travel with the racks down like this, just because there's not a lip on these, and I don't want them bouncing up and hitting my thing. But if you are going to cook off site somewhere, just put them like this, and then you can throw charcoal, wood. You can stack whatever back here. Okay. Use it as a little cart. You got your wood basket back here too, but I'll just take it and basically have a warming rack. Cooking rack. 2 pinwheel vents on each side, 2 stacks up here. I mean, you can get away with 1, but 2 just looks cooler. The whole ash pan, our drawer, the whole thing comes out, dump it. Like I said, we all about clean up. Yeah. So. That is your ash drawer. Pretty self-explanatory back here, but it is a good place to finish off some ribs or something like that, or it's nice to be able to come back here and cook hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, or something like that while you're smoking. Because especially if you're out here smoking all day, if you're ever just hanging out with friends and doing it, you know, you can come back here and eat lunch while you're and take.
Now, when we're smoking something, we'll have a lot of people walking through.
Yeah,
want to check it out.
And you can do what you can take chicken wings, man. Just put your dry rub on them, smoke them for 2 hours, and come back here and flash fry on this.
Yeah.
Get that good crispy on the outside and good smoky on the inside. But this is your regulator for that. Propane tank holder of this. And you guys got a wood basket here. So that's it. And as far as maintenance on this thing, you know, ideally you want to keep it covered. I know you guys may not be able to.
We have a cover that we
I mean, if it's a tarp or something like that, that'd be fine. Ideally, you want to keep it covered. It's just like anything else metal. Leave it out in the elements. You know, bad things are going to happen. But, and over time, you're going to have to touch it up. What we use on this is it's just Rust-Oleum high temp. It's called barbecue black. We use that because we have customers from Seattle to Maine to Miami. And if something happens to it, they catch a rock, it starts chipping, you know, or something like that, they can touch it up easily. I do recommend sanding down and repainting this firebox once a year, because that paint's going to start going, fading and stuff. Just sand it down, anything. If you see any rust come up on it or anything, just sand it down, touch it up. And when you touch it up, all this is going to dull whenever you gets heat on it. And when you touch it up, it's going to be shiny like this, but just let it get warm, everything will come back in. But definitely the firebox, just routine maintenance, that's part of it. Just sand it down, repaint it, keep it. You know, that's because this is going to be the roughest part. You know, that's treated the worst.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And other than that, you know, your lights have been run. Other than that, you want to grease your hubs every so often. They've been greased, or you're good. These have what we call bearing buddies in them. That black cap comes off, and just the gun. You squirt it in. You're greased. They've been greased. You're good for a long time. Like I said, we build everything. We build that axle, build the trailer frame, roll that barrel of a flat sheet of 1/4 inch steel. I mean, so this unit here weighs right around 1,200 pounds. That's a 3,500 pound axle with 15 inch wheels and tires. Don't be afraid to hit 85 going wherever.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not going anywhere.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you're
excited.
Yeah, man, you're gonna love it. And the learning curve on this is really small.
Yeah.
So while you're seasoning it, it's a good time to kind of play with the temps and stuff. By the time you got finished with the seasoning process, you're gonna know. You're gonna know it. That being said, it's still just metal on metal. So sometimes guys will come in here and you can get that felt replacement gasket because you're gonna have a little leakage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can get that a green egg replacement gasket. It's just a felt adhesive, and you go around this frame right here and just lock it down if you want to. It's not going to be enough to affect your temp in there as far as leaking, but some guys gotta have it. You know?
Yeah.
So, but that's her, man.